Very basic action to start the game. Down screen. Kawhi Leonard's either showing or he's up and switching. You do nothing. Reggie Jackson layup line. This just sends me to Middle Earth. Why is James Harden not forcing Reggie Jackson right there? If Ivica Zubac can get up the line, he can help. That's it. Over. Why is James Harden letting Reggie Jackson go into space? What was that? Tyronn Lue is a garbage basketball coach. This is an easy screen to hedge. The sideline's right there. Paul George is right there in backside help for DeAndre Jordan's role. Instead, you run your stupid drop coverage. So besides the fact you just gave up an open three, now Ivica Zubac, because he had to guard the ball, can't box out. And DeAndre Jordan's looking like the Clipper DeAndre Jordan. I just don't understand why Kawhi Leonard isn't forcing KCP to the middle of the floor where James Harden's in help. But again, you're letting him go to space. So if Paul George is going to step up and double, Terrence Mann's got to rotate to Michael Porter Jr. But as soon as that dribble gets picked up, stop. Paul George has got to rotate back to Porter Jr. so Terrence Mann can recover. Paul George walks to where? Tyronn Lue, get him out of here. Hedge this screen. We're going to push Reggie Jackson out. Paul George is right there for DeAndre Jordan's role. That's it. Instead, you give up these stupid 2-on-1s. This coaching is terrible. We will politely ignore the fact the Clippers are in drop coverage again. But PJ Tucker, who's in the gaps right here, Michael Porter Jr. just picked his dribble up. So I got to get out now. The dribble's picked up. The only reason to be in the gaps is to get that dribble picked up. And it's picked up. But you're standing here. The dribble's picked up. You haven't moved. So I don't know why Russell Westbrook's not over there in the gaps, but whatever. Reggie Jackson's dribble gets picked up. So now if I'm Russell Westbrook, first of all, I have to have my back to the baseline so I'm seeing man and ball. You're guarding with your back to the sideline. And why are you standing there? The dribble's picked up. Just get out. What was this? Tyronn Lue. In transition, why is Zubac not up forcing Reggie Jackson into help? PJ Tucker has no one to guard. No one other than to help you. But instead, you're letting him go away from that help. So now Norman Powell's got to get in the gaps, but it doesn't even matter because Zubac's got to play up and force him into that help. But Zubac backpedals. Make it stop. Fire Tyronn Lue now. He is terrible. Zubac, get up. The sideline is right there. We're going to hedge. There's no place for DeAndre Jordan to roll to. Instead, you run drop coverage and give up practice threes. This is just sending me to Middle Earth. Why is James Harden? First of all, Paul George should have his back to the baseline, and James Harden can flip his hips. The help is right there. But if you're James Harden, you're letting Reggie Jackson go away from that help. Well, Zubac's got to get in the gaps. He's coming. You're got to be there. You're not. If I'm Paul George, this ball gets swung to DeAndre Jordan. I got to rotate to the ball. My back's to the baseline. I'm seeing ball. I'm seeing man. So if Reggie Jackson comes off the handoff, I'm just going to slide right with him. You don't guard above the three-point line away from the ball. But what does Paul George do? Go up above the three-point line. Easily beat backdoor. Easily. Tyronn Lue is a disaster. A terrible basketball coach. Why is James Harden not up, forcing Reggie Jackson to wear Zubac? And Zubac should be up too. But the help's right there. That's it. I help, recover. Instead, what does James Harden do? Let him go away from the help. So now Zubac's got to rotate to the ball, and it's an alley-oop again. Rotate to the ball. I've had enough of Zubac's defense. I got to rotate, so if Reggie Jackson comes that way, I'm in the gaps. I can stunt, I can recover. What does Zubac do? He rotates away from the ball. Where are you? I'm sorry. This is not about being in the gaps. This isn't about anything other than Terrence Mann. Get over and guard Reggie Jackson. You're walking. You just gave Reggie Jackson the lane. Sure, I guess Kawhi Leonard should have been in the gaps, but why weren't you ever guarding? So now Reggie Jackson collapsed the world and wide open threes galore. This is Tyronn Lue being terrible. Why are we not switching here? Zubac up, Terrence Mann underneath. He can handle DeAndre Jordan. Kawhi Leonard is literally standing in the gaps as we speak. But instead, you're giving up practice jumpers. If the Clippers are going to come trap, first of all, Terrence Mann is not even seeing the ball. If he was seeing the ball, I know I got to rotate up to DeAndre Jordan. Paul George would have to deny one pass away too. But you're not seeing the ball. So once this pass gets made out of the trap, the Nuggets have numbers. So now Terrence Mann's got to leave his feet instead of guarding DeAndre Jordan, and that's an easy 2. How is DeAndre Jordan doing this? This is what a poorly coached team looks like. Everyone switches here. Norman Powell switches. Russell Westbrook's supposed to switch, and Zubac switching onto the ball. Zubac's fine. Russell Westbrook would be in the gaps if he switched, and Kawhi Leonard can get over in the gaps. But what happens? You got a couple of people switching, a couple of people are not, and DeAndre Jordan's dunking again. Norman Powell's probably switching this screen too early. When Julian Strawther comes off the screen, then you switch. But if you're going to switch early in case Zeke Nnaji slips it, James Harden's got to sprint up to guard. Okay, you are walking up on this switch, and Julian Strawther now just has the lane. What is happening here? Daniel Theis switches. He's fine. I have gap help. Russell Westbrook, Norman Powell. Terrence Mann switches underneath. So what's going on? Why is Daniel Theis saying, whoopsies, I don't want to switch anymore? Terrence Mann has got to stop jumping up and down defending this sideline out of bounds. You were jumping up and down. So as opposed to right now, the inbounds pass getting made, me getting to the three-point line with my back to the baseline, so I'm in the gaps, I'm seeing ball, I'm seeing man, you're still out at the sideline. So now you're beat back door. You have no hope of guarding this handoff. And it's DeAndre Jordan dunking again. Since the Clippers refuse to hedge, I can switch. James Harden's underneath. He's fine. Zubac's up. I have help everywhere. Westbrook, Norman Powell, Kawhi Leonard. They're all in the gaps. Why are we not switching? Look at this Tyronn Lue defense. You could pull someone from the crowd and they'd score. It's just right in the paint every time. This makes me lose my mind. Why? DeAndre Jordan has no place to roll to. Norman Powell's standing right there. Get up if you're Zubac and hedge. Stop giving up the lane. There's no place for Jordan to roll to. Push Reggie Jackson out. Instead, Reggie Jackson's back in the lane, and it's another lob. If I'm Kawhi Leonard and I'm playing the gaps, why am I not up the line, parallel to KCP? That dribble gets picked up way outside the paint now, and there's nothing Reggie Jackson can do. But you're at the free throw line. He's in the lane. It's too late. This is a huge possession in the game. Need a stop. Can Kawhi Leonard please just back off, slide his feet, play defense? Need a stop. But nope, you gamble, don't get it, force help, Porter ices it.